This large green-skinned reptoid stands upright at just under 7 foot tall. It's reportedly covered in a foul mucus that smells of decay and rot. The mill-race monster is somewhat passive during the daylight hours, but shows far less fear of humans in the evening. It has long claws and a bright green tinge around its mouth, which is filled with razor-sharp teeth. Despite attacking occupants in parked vehicles, the creature has not caused any known injuries. Some say the mill-race monster is linked to the numerous regional UFO sightings reported over the years. Others claim it is a member of a relict primate population or possibly a Sasquatch community hiding in the vast wilderness just a few miles to the west of Millrace Park. A more sinister theory has to do with the lands being tainted by cults or desecrated Native American sacred lands long since forgotten. On November 1st, 1974, shortly after 3 p.m., a group of 4 young women became the first to spot the mill-race monster between 2 trees near a paved boat ramp. They were terrified by what they witnessed and quickly escaped the park to report the incident to local police. They had described seeing a green, hairy, and large creature. Later that same evening, 2 women were eating some fast food at Millrace Park. They were unaware of the earlier encounter with the monster and were enjoying their meal while chatting in a parked car. While staring off at the tree line in front of the car, Tyra Cataline was shocked by the sudden appearance of the mill-race monster. She described it as a nightmarish creature, and out of the woods comes this thing. It had to be at least 7 feet tall, if not taller. It was way taller than a normal man. The creature proceeded to attack their vehicle and leave thick mucus and claw marks on the car's windows as it tried to break into the vehicle. Tyra stated the car stunk on the outside so bad. It was like decomposed animals. I don't know how else to describe it. The police would reluctantly investigate and find no clues to corroborate either the initial 3 p.m. encounter or Tyra's evening incident. 8 days later, November 9th, 1974, 2 city dog catchers were trying to remove a few terrified cats that were stuck up in the trees for some unknown reason. Suddenly, both claimed to have spotted the monster approximately 200 yards away near a clearing. One man by the name of Duckworth attempted to chase it down, however it was reportedly as fast as a deer and escaped into the woods. With the monster gone, the 2 men removed the terrified cats from the tree with a ladder. Once on the ground, the cats took off like bolts of lightning, Duckworth adding they were really scared. It's at this point that the mill-race monster legend takes a turn towards skepticism and the realm of hoaxes. Duckworth would go on to tell the local newspapers that he knew the monster was actually just a large-framed man, wearing a green mask and green blankets. He went so far as to say he will try to shoot him with the tranquilizer gun that he carries to catch dogs. The city went along with this idea of a prankster, much to the dismay of the witnesses that stated what they had seen was certainly no man in a costume. It could articulate its face. It had a foul-smelling mucus oozing from its mouth. How could anyone replicate such a creature with a mere costume in 1974? Millrace Park is a city-owned park located in Columbus, Indiana, where the Flat Rock and the Driftwood rivers join together in downtown Columbus. The park is lined with old trees and thick underbrush. Although it is a city park, it has some areas that are much more wild and unkept than others. Millrace Park is composed of 83 acres, including a playground with a 84-foot-tall observation tower. The land is subject to severe annual flooding, during which 60% of the park is underwater. The site features a loop around the perimeter of the park, path systems, and 2 small lakes connected by a covered wooden bridge. The covered bridge harkens back to the local history of numerous covered bridges found across the landscape. Approximately 5 miles to the west of Millrace Park is a much larger wilderness region which encompasses numerous lakes and several large state forests, including the nearly 16,000-acre Brown County State Park. With over 23,000 acres, Yellowwood State Forest has its own mysterious activity that some link to the strange going-ons at Millrace in 1974. A major mystery surrounds the forest. Large sandstone boulders, estimated to weigh about 200 pounds, have been found in the tops of trees. One tree, a tall chestnut oak, is over 80 feet tall. 2 American sycamores, at over 45 feet tall, also have these large sandstones atop. Speculation as to how the boulders got there ranges from college pranks, tornadoes, ancient hunters, to UFOs. The UFO theory is further linked to numerous sightings around this region of Indiana shortly before the Millrace monster sighting. The vast forested lands west of Millrace Park have other eerie locations, such as Stepp Cemetery. This remote, abandoned graveyard is the home to the Weeping Woman in White. It's also the home of the Witch's Seat, where a ghostly mother mourns her daughter's death. The mother has since been labeled the Woman in Black, and some strange images have been captured at night by visitors to Stepp Cemetery. Nobody knows who established Stepp Cemetery or exactly when, but the legend is that an obscure religious cult, the CRYPTIDS, were the originators of the burial spot. The CRYPTIDS were rumored to perform strange rituals out in the cemetery, some including venomous snakes and even sexual orgies. Some have speculated the lands in and around this forested region of Indiana, and particularly the deep woods of the nearby state forests, have been tainted somehow by all this mysterious activity. Whatever is lurking in these local habitats has remained hidden in the secluded rivers, lakes, hills, and forests found merely 5 miles west of Millrace Park. Not much, if any, serious research or investigation has gone into the legend of the Millrace monster. In fact, many of the mysteries surrounding UFO sightings or the very visible tree stones have gone mostly unexplained and unexplored. The area was known to have many Native American earthwork structures like those of the Ohio River Valley. Perhaps there is some link to the tree stones and the Native Americans. Either way, following the third report, the story of the now infamous Millrace monster spread like wildfire throughout central Indiana, and in no time droves of armed, albeit amateur monster hunters filtered into the area along with throngs of curiosity seekers. On one night alone, there were over 100 cars clustered around the park. Paranormal investigator and Columbus native Chris McDaniel described the situation. People were coming out of the woodwork, and they were walking through the woods with baseball bats and shotguns. It was getting to be a thorny situation. Former Republic newspaper editor Harry McCauley confirmed McDaniel's statements. We got this report from the police department, and they described it in the kind of terms of a Bigfoot with green scaly things coming off it. The front page helped to feed what developed afterwards. The police reported that people were coming down to the park searching for the monster. In an effort to curb the potentially devastating mix that can happen when frightened people are armed to the teeth and roaming around in the dark near a residential area, City Park Director Robert Gillikin ordered that the park be closed at night. According to a story appearing on November 8, 1974, Gillikin emphasized, "It may become necessary to close the park to the public at night, not because of the monster, but because of the public." Despite recent sightings in the surrounding forested regions of a Bigfoot-like creature, there has been no exact sighting of a creature that matches the 1974 descriptions since the third Duckworth sighting. Sightings of strange creatures and UFO activity in the state forest just 5 miles to the west have continued up to the present day. A story run by Fox News station featuring Tyra Cataline was prompted by a report on October 10, 2015, from a local hunter. He claimed to have seen a Bigfoot-like creature, which may or may not have been related to the Millrace monster, in the ᴸᴺᴬᵗᵛ State Forest in Martinsville, Indiana. As for the original encounter, Tyra perhaps tells it best.
Chris McDaniel is a Columbus native and a paranormal investigator. He's been obsessed with discovering the truth about an astonishing event that took his town by storm some 40 years ago.
I was 7 or 8 years old when the incident took place. The first time that I heard about the reports, I was kind of shocked that something like that happened in our hometown. And I went to the local library, going through all the microfilms of the newspaper and pulling up all the articles.
It would all begin on November 1st, 1974.
Did you guys have fun? Did you guys have fun? That was fun. Yeah, the guy was alright.
Early that evening, 4 young women went walking in Millrace Park.
Did you guys have like fun? Don't you guys want to go in? No, I don't want to go in.
The women were just sitting in the park, just having conversation, talking.
Yeah. She's just being silly. I just can't believe it's that bad. And it was like 20 degrees.
They seen this creature lurking between the trees near the boat ramp. They described the creature as being 6 foot tall, bipedal, walking on 2 legs, had very sharp claws. It was very dirty, almost mossy looking.
Badly shaken, the women contacted the police.
After the first report, the police officers assumed that this is probably a hoax. The park remained open. The officers didn't think any more about it.
Later that same night,
You just can't get over that party, though.
after leaving a drive-through burger joint, 3 young women were looking for a place to eat their meal.
Okay, where do you guys want to go eat?
We should go to Millrace Park.
Yeah, let's go
Oh,
there.
good idea.
Let's do it.
November 1st, 1974 was a mild night. So Tyra and her friends decided to park down by the river in Millrace Park.
I just honestly can't get over the party.
I mean, it was fun.
What a joke, though.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. No.
Too much.
Well,
And we happened to park by the boat launch there, and in front of us was woods and then the river.
well, that was fun.
That party was over.
What was that? I saw something move over there.
I couldn't see it. I told him I didn't see anything. Then the other one said, I think I saw it again.
What was that?
And then I saw something moving. And it come out of that woods. Oh my God. This thing, it was like nothing I've ever seen in my life. This thing had to be at least 7 foot tall. If not taller, it was taller than a normal man. It was beating on the windshield. It was trying to get in, and we were screaming. I don't know if that agitated him more or what.
The only thing separating them and this creature was the windshield.
What was that?
I don't know.
That was not a person.
I don't know.
We were all afraid it was going to come back, but we couldn't move.
When researching the Millrace monster, it was easy to assume there was little to even speculate about due to the age of the last documented sighting. Adding to the fact that the park and surrounding area is fairly well developed, it is easy to assume there is little mystery left to discuss or discover. However, when looking to the west a few miles, you begin to stumble upon UFOs, witches, potential Bigfoot sightings, abandoned cemeteries, odd tree rock formations, forgotten Native American hunting grounds, ghosts from the early 1800s, and even mysterious cult activity. It may be simple to dismiss the Millrace monster as a 1970s prank or misidentification of sorts, but the deep woods to the west may hide much more sinister mysteries.